white man name because that's going to get you far on this planet.
That's right.
All right. But I didn't. How? I'm just a junkie. How? You know. But I didn't know what the law had in store for me, sisters. I didn't know. You know. So I prayed. It was during Ramadan. And at the time, because I had to turn my life over to Allah, I gave up my will and I told him I'd do whatever you say because my decisions ain't working. My decisions leave me in a mess every time. So I turned over my will to Allah and I said, you got this. You just lead and direct me and tell me which way to go. So I became a servant. And I used to push a guy around in a wheelchair. I would take him to get his medication. He was diabetic. He had to get his shots like 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. I would take him to and from his meals. You know, I would take him to the yard. You know, everywhere I go, I'd be pushing his wheelchair. And I said, okay, Allah, I became a servant. This is Ramadan. And we coming up on the last 10 days. All right, here comes the night of power. All right, now mind you, this is like my 40th Ramadan. And I'm still saying, okay, we're going to see if this night of power is real. Right. So I told Allah, and while I was in my prayer, I said, Allah, please send me an heir. Send me someone to carry on my name. Send me someone to carry on my bloodline. You know? And I hadn't even met my wife yet at that time. And I said, I know I'm going to be 50 years old when I get out of here. I don't know what young girl going to give me a baby. And then, you know, I just trusted in Allah. I said, I put it out there and I let it go. You know, Allah, you got this. You know, if it's meant to be, it be. So I met my wife. And we've been together since the day, you know, we got out. We had our wedding out, you know, in the rain on the beach. The Imam, Brother Haji, who married us, he said it was the best wedding ever. So we had our, our marriage, you know, in the open sky, and it was raining. And it took a while, but finally my son came, you know, and it was a little boy. So, you know, we like, yay. So I named him after my deceased brother, Fatim. Right? So Mom was so proud. Look at it. She was my baby. So I named him after my older brother. Somehow or another, this other guy decided that he was going to be on this earth too. Yeah, I'm talking about you. And here he comes, man. That's Brother Umar. I named him after myself, you know, and they're 15 months apart, as you can see. So he not only blessed me with an heir, he blessed me with 2.
That's right.
That's the stuff that the Lord do in my life. You know, He give you more than what you ask for. You know, I remember when I first got out. We got married on December the 1st, 2013, and I couldn't pay the rent. It was $750. I couldn't pay it. I worked my butt off. I would lay in carpet, carrying 300-400 pound carpets up steps and stuff, and I still couldn't pay the rent. But I refused to give up. I refused to go back. I refused to live the life that I used to live. I refused to be that man that I used to be. And I kept going, and I kept going, and I kept going. And eventually, I told my wife, I said, listen, babe, I sold dope, I sold incense, I sold gloves, I sold scarves, I sold sweaters. I used to walk in Philly in the snow going bar to bar selling sweaters. I'm a salesman. I need to have a job selling something. So I told her, I said, I'm going to go get a job. So I went to get a job, and it was pure commission. At this time, I was working at Labor Pool. If y'all familiar with Labor Pool, daily work, daily pay. So I was bringing home about $40,000, $49 a day, but it was income, but I would, have to be up and out by 5 in the morning. I'd get home by 12, 13 hours later. And I had been in the Florida sun all day in ditches, digging ditches and on rooftop, whatever they had me do. When I went in that office, matter of fact, I had 2 jobs. One was upstairs, one was downstairs. That entire month, I think I made $250. And my wife was like, "Oh man, come on now, this ain't gonna work." we can, but I stuck with my guns, and I wound up going to an office where a fellow who turned out to be a very good friend of mine taught me how to sell insurance, and I didn't look back from there. I didn't look back. I became the top salesman in the company for months. I was the top salesman. And I moved on to bigger companies and the bigger things, until, this year. Allah told me, say, now it's time, because, I had LLC. I'm coming up on my anniversary, October 20th, of 2 years being an LLC entity in the business world. Allah said, it's time for you to do this. You working for other people, making other people hundreds of thousands of dollars. You could put twice as much energy into yourself.
That's right.
So I decided to do that. My sisters, my brother, let me tell you, that is the scariest thing I've ever done. I'm not frozen. That's how scary it was. Listen, I had taken guns and knives from people. I've taken guns from the police and threw them on the roof. I'm not scared. Nothing scares me. I'm the tough guy. That was the scariest decision I ever had to make in my life. But I walk in faith. I believe in the law. And I do what the law tells me to do. Whether I understand it, whether I like it or not, understand it or not, it doesn't matter.
You're in the game.
This is what I do. Okay? So it's been a scary ride this year. All right? I'm going to tell you how law works. I'm going to give you a perfect example of ex-cons living in the world today and a Muslim, one who submits himself wholeheartedly to the will of Allah. I told you I'm a published author, okay? I happen to have written a book about something that has never been written before in history. Y'all familiar with the actress Marilyn Monroe? Well, she has all kinds of stuff out there written about her. But I am the only person in history who ever wrote a first-hand account of the Mortensen side of her family from her nephew, Joseph Michael Mortensen. So eventually last year, I got this book published. I had been out of prison 8 years before I could get it published now. So last year I got it published. So I'm out there selling my books. I got my little table that I set up and, I do my thing. In case y'all haven't noticed, I'm kind of flamboyant. When I go out there to sell my things, I'm in my groove, So I'm selling my book because this is mine. My name on that book. Now, I'm sorry. I regress. Let me share something with you. At one time, I was 132 pounds. Okay. I had $1,000 a day habit. I never expected to live to see 1999. When Prince came out with that song, we thought it was a joke. Yeah. All right. When I was a little boy, I heard about Buck Rogers. I used to watch Buck Rogers and Star Trek. I never expected to see this. Okay. You Pioneer Sisters, y'all know that when we had to go somewhere, we didn't have Google Maps. You better know where you're going.
You better, okay? You better get one of those. Look, get one of those from the gas.
That's right. And you better know how to talk to people.
There you go.
Okay, we had to communicate. So even to today, I would rather call than text. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
because I can hear in your voice the truth.
That's right.
You know, I can't hear it in through a text.
That's right.
You know, not saying that I don't text, because I do, but I would rather do a person to person, live. So with what Allah did with me, I think it's no different than what he did with Yusuf, that he did with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he did with Isa, that he did with Musa, that he did with Ibrahim, or any other entity.
Mary, the mother of Christ.
That's right. Listen, when they say God moves in mysterious ways, ain't nothing mysterious about the way Allah works. All you gotta do is check him out. Ain't nothing mysterious about it. You just don't understand what's going on. There's nothing mysterious about Allah, because he tells us he doesn't change. From time immortal, he hasn't changed. He's the same God. Yesterday, tomorrow, and today. All right? All we have to do is look at his works, and you know what's in store for you. I remember when I first told Mom, I said, I'm going to be the first African-American trillionaire, Mom. And I told a lot of people that, and they laughed at me. But I'm dead serious.
I know that's right there, brother.
I'm dead serious.
It will be. It's coming.
I don't need it. I don't need $1 trillion for me. Like I said, give me a ramen noodle soup, I'm straight. give me a washer and a dryer and an iron and some ramen noodle soup, I'm straight. Elijah Muhammad taught us, said, if you got one suit, keep it clean and pressed.
That's right.
Okay? So it doesn't matter to me about the money part. I love for my family to be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And my poor children, they don't even know what it's like to ride on a bus. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. They don't know what it's like to be hungry.
That's right.
They don't know what it's like to have to wear the same clothes to school for about a week.
Mm-hmm.
But we had to wash them and dry them too. we'll take 3 pants and 3 shirts and make 15 outfits out of it.
That's right. That's right.
They don't know nothing about that.
That's right.
I'm not gonna say I made a mistake and did it, because I did it on purpose. But it turned out to be more than what I thought. When I bought them their telephones, these cats took off. They took off. You hear me? Look, don't be laughing. Look at over there laughing. Don't be laughing. They took off. The teachers in the school that we just moved to a new area in Florida, and we enrolled them in school, and they started doing their tests, and alhamdulillah, for teens, my oldest son's teacher is Muslim. Right? Alhamdulillah. So, but she don't know what to do with him, because he's in 2nd grade reading at a 5th grade level.
Stand up to me.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, they're just astounded. They're not used to this. Plus, where I'm at, it's predominantly redneck. So, when they see, I'm sorry.
You funny.
So, they're not used to seeing, people of this pigmentation being highly intelligent.
Good
But you heard my sons do that Fatiha. They acting all shy. They acting all shy.
A couple months ago.
It's because of that lady right there.
now.
It's because of that lady right there. That's right.
That's the queen.
That's the queen. All hail the queen. That's right.
That's right.
But I have to tell you this. All of you are queens. I love y'all, man. I'm about to cry. You see my eyes getting red? I'm about to cry. I'm a crybaby. I am a crybaby. I'm sorry. But man, I love y'all. I love y'all.
you back.
You
You
know.
and brother Aziz and all the brothers, we love you.
That's right. I love you too, brother. Allahu Akbar.
Go get daddy a tissue.
Hold on, let me get
Go
myself.
get daddy a
together.
tissue.
Go ahead.
See, when my mom and dad tell the story about, you know, when I used to go to Temple Number 12, you know, in Philly, and they at the end of the service, thank you, son.
Welcome.
At the end of the service, they say, well, who wanna change the world? Who wanna be a Muslim? Who wanna follow? And I'll run down the aisle,
Wow.
right? And then the next week come, they say, who wanna be a Muslim? Who wanna change? I run down the aisle. One time, my dad stopped me. Hold on, son. You ain't got to run down there no more. Okay?
And how old were you?
10?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's about 10.
In your DNA, your soul,
Yes.
your soul always was conscious of Allah.
Allahu Akbar.
Alhamdulillah. Allahu Akbar. So,
Allahu Akbar.
I used to go to Temple Number 12, and I used to see the MGTs. And they
Here
be,
we are today.
yeah, what? Okay, I'm sorry, I get excited. I'm sorry. And I see y'all with your white on. Y'all be sitting up there. And listen, it was scary and exciting at the same time to look at you because it was so much powerful. It was so powerful. There was so much power there. I could feel it. I happen to be an empath. Okay, I feel people's feelings. You know, so when at that time I didn't know that all this power that I was feeling was having me like this. You know, that's why I love y'all so much, man. And then the abuse. I'm gonna keep it real.
Keep it real.
I'm gonna keep it real.
That's right.
The abuse.
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
I remember my mother and father, you know, my father beat up my mother and they went to the temple and they suspended them. And I'm saying to myself, now mind you, I'm a child. They got suspended.
Yes, sir.
What that mean?
What that mean?
Because they still, you know, they still doing everything else they do.
Right.
What did that mean? It meant nothing. It meant nothing when it comes to my mother being abused. Because she got even more abused.
Okay.
Okay? And I know sometimes y'all sisters couldn't come up in there from the scars and the battery evidence.
Yeah.
You know? I know. I'm not going to act like I don't know. And if anybody act like they don't know, hold
Go
on.
ahead, brother.
I'm sorry. I almost cussed just then, and I'm going to keep it clean because I get mad. Sometimes the gangster come up out me. I'm sorry. You know.
You need that side too, man.
So I admire y'all and I love y'all so much for all y'all did. Just let me tell you, who baked the best bean pie on the planet?
Sisters, MGT.
MGT. Go ahead, brother.
And Mom, tell you how I love my bean pie. Now I don't play by my bean pies.
I know that's right.
If she want to make me happy, I got a bean pie for you. Okay, Mom. Yes, we love bean pies. That's right, son. Yes. So, oh God, I'm sorry.
So beautiful.
I'm
This
taking.
is so beautiful.
It's real though. It's real.
This feel like family. You know what I feel like? I feel like I am directly in the living room with you, and we're all there together. And you said something that was most powerful. When you hear the voice of another human being,
Go ahead.
Allah permits the soul to be the communication liaison for you. You can tell when that person is lying. You can tell when that person is frowning. You can tell when that person is laughing or got a smile because the smile and laughter, all of the emotions come from the heart. And the heart is connected to the soul. And you are all of us. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. So you just said something very meaningful for me because I met my current husband by way of the telephone first. And our relationship evolved to the point where we said, now we're ready to tell our family that we're about to make a union. And that's when we brought the physical, three-dimensional flesh named human being, and our families met each other and everything. But we had already decided that we were going to get married because of our communication and the time we spent on the phone. And I knew him better because we had not seen each other, but we really saw each other.
Yes.
Soul first.
Yes. Now I have to say this, all right, because I live in today's society in the 21st century, but I grew up in the 20th century. Let's be clear. All right. Back when we were growing up, we had songs that taught us how to treat a woman.
Treat her like a lady.
That's right. We had old heads that taught us how to behave. We had communication skills. In other words, remember this? Your rap game better be up to par.
That's right. That's right.
If you ain't had no rap game, you gonna be lonely. Cause you got to have a rap game, dog.
Like the song said, if you think you're lonely,
wait until the night. You ain't got no rap game. Okay, so in today's society, you have TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, and text messaging and stuff like that. These poor children have no communication skills. See, this was a design that had been programmed in society 600 years ago. We were not supposed to remember, we're not immigrants. We were imported. Okay? We didn't come here by choice. We were imported. Immigrants come here by choice. We are the only nation in this country that has been imported into this country.
And that's a nice clinical word. I call it kidnap, which is a felony.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm not, I love, I have some Jewish brothers and sisters that I love. I love my Jewish brothers and sisters too, and there are 6, 7, 8 million people that, went through the Holocaust and everything. But nobody wants to talk about the 100 million of us that died. I ain't talking about that made it over here, that died.
Yeah, that brother.
100 million. I'm sorry, I get excited.
No, I'm gonna help you out. It was so many that jumped overboard or had to be thrown overboard that it actually made a path of sharks following the boats.
That's right. That's right. That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's right.
That's a fact. So, not.
Look at the word hurricane. Hurricane. H-E-R is at the beginning.
Now, I'm just gonna, since you went there, Sister Tawanda, since you went there, I'm gonna go there. All hurricanes follow the path of the slave ships.
Yeah.
Every hurricane follows the path of the slave ships. Now, this is intentionally done from the motherland.
Yeah.
All right. somehow or another, they've found out how to thwart them and redirect them through the air currents. And I'm pretty familiar with how they did it. Okay. I do study the sciences.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. So I am pretty familiar with how they did it.
Mhm.
And they've been saving where I'm at for a long time, but they couldn't stop this one, Ian, or whatever they call them. They couldn't stop that one. Every now and again, one slipped through and they wreak havoc. Now, I also have to say this. It doesn't wreak havoc in the projects.
Allah Akbar.
That's the safety zone.
That's what I like Allah Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. I'm sorry. If you're living where there are a lot of souls from slaves that have been abused and killed and things, you're going to experience some weather conditions.
I'm from South Carolina, Charleston.
You know what I'm talking about there.
Yes, yes.
You know what I'm talking about. Ian,
Yes, sir.
his name Ian, whatever his name was, he came up there, right?
Ian.
Okay. Now, I'm going to show you how law works. I'm going to show you how law works in my life. I'm in what's called a manufactured home. It's a vacation rental. We moved up here, because my wife's, she works for two 501(c)(3)s. So being closer up to them, we can get a lot more. Plus, we make more money. And the rent is cheaper. So we moved up here, and before we can pay rent again, we had to emergency evacuate. Because technically, they call it, the fancy names are, vacation rental, manufactured home. I'm in a trailer park. But it's gated. It's gated. It's a private community.
There you go.
But it's a trailer park.
Language.
Okay. So we had to evacuate. But I'm going to tell you what Allah did. It wasn't but so much I could put in the crabmobile. Okay. So I didn't pack up for the hurricane. I packed up for the aftermath of the hurricane. I packed up so my children would have something to eat for at least a week without being able to cook anything.
Right.
I packed up clean clothes. We had at least 3 changes of clean clothes, and you know what I say about that 3 and 3. You made 15 outfits out of that. That's why I packed up. The hurricane, the eye of the hurricane, it was headed directly to us, where I am right now, where I'm sitting in my living room. The eye of the hurricane was heading right here. As we packed up and drove to the hurricane-proof hotel, the hurricane did like this. I'm gonna leave them alone. So I do a lot of live videoing, and I happen to be on what's called the Men's Talk Network, the Black Mastermind Group, Connection, Black Mastermind Power Connections. Thank you. Y'all can tell I need help. I'm not. Listen. Let me put it out there. I'm gonna put it out there. Anybody don't agree, punch me in my mouth. Ain't no kingdom without a queendom.
There you go. Say it again.
Ain't no kingdom without a queendom.
I can smell the oil.
All right. I love you.
If it wasn't for the queen, it wasn't for y'all queens, where would we be?
Okay.
That's right. Go ahead, brother.
I'm about to cry again. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. This is all good.
So when the hurricane left, and I'm videoing with the brother that I do the talk show with every Thursday morning, I'm coming up to the house. I'm on the phone, and we don't know what's going on, because we were on the other side of Tampa Bay, right, in the safe zone. This is supposed to be the destroyed zone.
Right.
As I'm driving, there's no branches in the street. A couple of leaves.
Yes.
A couple of leaves.
Yes.
A little bit off of that strip that come off of the coconut trees. A little bit.
Yes.
A little bit of that. And I come up to my house and it's standing full. So I say, that means nothing. That means nothing. Because when that hurricane, them 80-mile-an-hour winds hit, it will rip the roof off of this fabricated home. Everything I have inside could be ruined. I opened the door, it was like we never left.
Allah Akbar.
I was mad that we spent all that money in the hotel. I was mad. It just like this. It was just like this when I had lights on, everything. The lights was on and all.
Allah Akbar.
Woo!
So I know
Call
when
and
listen.
insurance.
Allah gonna talk to you. You just got to know how to listen.
That's right.
You know, sometimes I would sit in that chair outside on my phone and don't do anything. And people want to know why I do that. Because Allah didn't tell me to do anything. I'm not moving on my own understanding of my own free will. I'm not doing nothing until Allah tell me to do it.
Amen.
And whoever don't like it, you know what they do.
I know that's right.
Because at the end, ain't nobody, not mommy, not my father, not my wife, not my children, nobody's going to feel not one lick of hellfire for me.
That's right.
That's right.
Every soul has to carry their own burden.
So, if I'm doing wrong, if I'm doing bad, if I'm doing, if I'm not living a straight life, there's no excuse. Because I am doing what Allah told me to do. All right? Allah told me, say, man, go hang out with them pioneers. Go hang out with them pioneers.
Thank you.
Man, listen, it is such an honor to be in your presence.
Thank you.
All of
You are honored.
It is such an honor.
Such an honor to have you, brother.
Yeah.
Aww.
So beautiful. I'll just have to make my comment. The sister's been talking and talking. Allah is so merciful.
Yes.
And He's so powerful. And you just express the power of Allah.
Allah
Allahu
You
Akbar.
are a living witness
Yes.
of His mercy and His power.
Yes.
That's right.
Oh, and I love the fact that Allah has blessed you with the knowledge and the wisdom to come before us and to share your experiences. And I'm sure you share this with all the youngsters and the young people that need to hear it. I mean, what you've gone through, just the power of Allah and His mercy that you're here to share it with all of us. And I just love it. We're running out of time.
Go ahead.
And also, I'd like to hear from Brother Aziz if he has something as well.
Y'all say
To
blessings?
King.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
Brother
And we
Aziz.
were praying,
Thank you,
and we were
brother.
praying God. We were
Brother Aziz, you and your family, and I just love the way you shared your family with us. I mean, just so beautiful. Just so
Thank you.
beautiful.
That's right.
I love you. May Allah continue to bless
We
you.
want both
Thank you.
of you.
Yes. Allah Akbar.
Sister President, I don't know if you want to take over or is she there?
Yes, she's here.
Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Conference room, so it's kind of pretty loud here. So excuse me, being so loud. But thank you, my brother. It was wonderful
F1.
to hear you living the dream. And you are. You are living your dream.
Yes.
You come from nothing.
No, we gotta hear our brother Aziz.
A human being created yourself. My phone is dying. So I'm going to say assalamu alaikum.
Okay. And wa alaikum assalam, my sister.
Walaikum assalam.
Alaikum assalam,
Walaikum
brother.
assalam, Brother Aziz, Brother Edward.
Yes, alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa
It's a
barakatuh.
party going on over
Whoop, whoop.
A celebration.
It's
Yeah.
so funny.
Okay, but just don't drop it like it's hot.
All right.
No, we're not gonna drop it. We're gonna hold it high.
Yeah, I just wanted, what I wanted to do was to thank the sisters, and like Umar, like my brother Umar said, I want to thank his sisters because honing in on circumstances like this, and Umar being a man who has went to the very essence of why he has the spirit that he has, and why where he is today because of a good mother, a good Umi. And he portrays that, the Umi spirit. And it was told that our Prophet Muhammad, he was the Umi prophet. He was the Umi prophet. So when we talk about there is no king without the queen, yeah, because the queen, she helps form the dome. When we say king dome, we're talking about Nafs al-Wahida, the one soul, the dome is one soul. And I want to thank you, brother, because you said some things that I'm just, alhamdulillah, because I went through the same identical thing that you went through. Years ago, I got in trouble. I did time in the Ohio State Penitentiary myself. Some circumstances, drugs and weapons, but the same route that you traveled, same thing that you did, programs and the noodles and the regular noodles. But I want to say something about that because I got put in solitary confinement for that because we use it and we call it the breakdown. We would everybody bring in noodles and we had to cook.
The breakdown.
So
that's right. Boy, I ain't heard that in a while.
I wrote a poem called The Prison Break.
Yeah.
And prison break, that's a no-no.
Yes.
It's a no-no.
Yeah.
It's a no-no. Just the word itself, they want to find out what do you mean. Is this some kind of way that you are planning to you're using food to plan an escape? So they want to find out what you mean prison break. So, but anyway, but you brought so many things out, my dear brother Umar. You brought a lot of great things out, the experiences and the great skills and talents that you have. Now I go through the same thing. I'm a professional dog groomer. I drove trucks. I trained security guards. I went to Case Western and took up a small course in petroleum crime and property and essence of security. And therefore, when we speak. Sometimes, when you mention about the applications, applying for situations, and your record denied that, but nothing denied the essence of what you had in you. And when you spoke to people, and when they listened to you and found out that they could benefit from you, they hired you anyway.
Allahu Akbar. That's a fact.
And this is I'm doing the same thing. The doctors, my doctors, even now when I go and talk to doctors. And about my condition and start just explaining experiences and talking from the Quran and the Tafsir Imam David Muhammad. They have me, I got the thing set up now. I'm going to be talking to the interns. Even with my poetry, I'm going to be doing. But what I'm saying to you, I'm listening to you, and I'm understanding what you have and where you're going, and the confidence is there. Now the platform was built. The platform was built by just the essence of what you went through.
Yeah.
See, some people, the professionals, they come in and they study, they can describe the things that you went through. They can theorize it. But the best person that can bring the solution is the one that experienced it. You see what I'm saying? So
yes, sir.
I'm listening to you. I said, brother, and to take this message into the institution, that's why I go into the Ohio State Penitentiary now, But to take it into the institution with what you're saying and what you got and understanding the science in it, the science in the logic in what you have, and the logic in how you can. I got a thing called an LOP right here from the warden, and from John Hall. He's a criminologist, and the warden. He wrote about how Mr. Aziz, with his poetry, how he brings the suffering inmates to this program we had called Interfaith. But the thing is that you got it. Allah has really blessed you. You got it. You're connected with the essence. Ain't nothing gonna stop you. Nothing gonna stop you. Nothing gonna stop you. You know what I'm saying?
You too.
You are a doctor. You're a doctor. You're a psychiatrist. And have the mission. You cannot be stopped. You cannot, the only thing that can stop you now is you. Is you. See, so I just want to say that because, but I'm working on some things to bring you on my program too because we're
Okay.
gonna bust this wide open.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
and I'm gonna get with you also because I've been there. I got programs that I've been through.
You're
I got
twins.
right here, and I have your book, too. I have your book also.
Oh, you
But
do?
I just want to say that I'm not gonna because I know you and I we can talk.
Yeah.
We can talk. You know, in
I
reference to
think,
what you just
brother, I
said.
think, I know it's hard time, but if you have that phone readily called a breakdown, could you read it? You mentioned phone. Yeah, please.
I know, but I would have to go. What I'm gonna do on the program when I invite him, I got the other people, the others from the one. I want to do that. I want to do that contact on his program. I want to go on his program also and work with him and be of assistance to him because he has exactly the reason, one of the main reasons why they invited me, even in here where I live at. They invited me. I got courses on the board in their office. But the point is this. The point is having the essence and the desire to look at where you came from and look at what's going on there and to help the suffering soul. To help the suffering soul. Once you have that desire, Allah will keep that in front of you. Allah will keep that in you. You know, and there will always be people, the professional people will take their hats off to you.
Yeah.
Believe me, because there's no greater knowledge than what we get in today from Almighty Allah. You know, that we have the religion straight from Almighty God, the solution. And when you mention about the different religions, the different faiths, you know, I was in a program we talking about black, white, you know, so I just told I told the people after they saw the work that I was doing, I said, well, just call me you. Just call me you. The label in itself, it'll take you. People are gonna know where your faith is because they're gonna ask you at one point because they're gonna wonder where are you getting all this great knowledge from?
Yes.
You know, what is your religion?
I've had a couple to ask me, and I never lie. I never lie. You know.
But you wait till they ask.
Yes.
You know, hey, what I tell them, I didn't bring no label. I bought cake.
Yeah, it is.
I know that's right. That's what we do. But
That's right.
You got me. I'm sitting here crying.
I'm crying out.
Sister Anna, this sister, I have to hold myself when I'm around these sisters, man. I'm telling you. I have to hold, and your brother too. I have to hold myself. I have to keep myself anchored down because, and when you say you cry, brother. Believe me, brother. I went through a whole lot to keep myself grounded because it's the spirit that we have to do this work. You know, it's in us all the way from the very beginning. Allah has been with us.
Yes.
So I'm gonna stop. Yeah. Allah has been with us, brother, and to know what you got. Once you know what you have. And you get connected, you know, brother, every time you come out firing. You know, you come out firing, you know, but you're blessed. You're blessed, and I love you. I love you
too, brother.
And believe me, we're going to do some great work. We're going to do some great things together. We're going to do some great things together.
I'm looking forward to it. I am.
And to your wife. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Brother Lamar, what's the
Yes,
name
ma'am.
of your book?
Finding Norma Jean.
Norma Jean, that's right.
Finding Norma Jean.
Yeah.
And that's Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
It's the memoirs of her nephew,
Okay.
Joseph Michael Mortensen.
Here it is, right?
There it is, right there.
All right. Thank you.
Right.
Because I say, oh, go ahead, brother.
Back it up some, Brother Aziz. Back up some. There you go.
Beautiful. Wow. Yeah. You know what? I want to say this. My auntie is 90 years old, and she was best friend with Collins. Mrs. Collins came by way to New York. She was the first registered nurse at New York University Hospital in the late 50s, all the way up until she retired back in the 70s.
Wow.
Listen, I'm not there yet. The big idea is coming. That was her main humanity. And let me tell you why.
There's so many unsung heroes.
No,
So
but
many.
listen, I gotta give you the last part of this. He wanted Mrs. Collins, my auntie's dear friend, and I met her. She said, because all the other nurses were Caucasian, and when he came into New York, he had his escapade with Fallon. And he had a bad back, but by the time he got home, his back was out of whack. So my auntie's friend, he said, I don't want any other nurse in this hospital except Nurse Collins. And that was his way of ensuring that if any leak had come out about treatment and why, he would know it came from the black nurse.
Right.
Because everybody else was white.
Right.
So for years, until he had Mrs. Collins was, and she said, girl, his back stayed out of whack when he came to New York. By the time he was ready to go back to Washington. So that was a little piece of direct history from a black nurse that he requested at New York University Hospital.
That's just like mom's mom made the salads for him when he came to Philadelphia.
Woo, look at
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
always proud.
Yeah.
Look at the connection. And Mrs. Collins told me she was active in the law community. My aunt was a former librarian in the New York school system when she worked. So she and a group of these women of the who were in the 50s and they used and they were the debutante black mothers in the community who established the scholarship, established this. My aunt, Tootsie, her name is, they call her Lady Ernestine Washington.
Okay.
They, all of these women have scholarships named after them based on their career. So Nurse Collins has a scholarship after her, but anyone who goes into the health science, my aunt, anyone who goes into Mrs. O'Neill, her father was a mathematician and a Tuskegee Airman. So the scholarship after him is anyone who goes to the math and sciences.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to say that this is unique to us. Everywhere we are, it's the same story that Allah has permitted to be a testimony to who we are so we can do it again. And today, I'm saying this because I know I feel the energy from a certain one say, Anna, shut up. But I can't shut up until Allah stops. What I'm saying is the last thing. The movie, had an audience with Joe. Well, dear believers, we have just witnessed a man for two of his stars and the fabulous exploded. This is that Brother Umar and Brother R.C. they came in front of us and they exploded into one big nebulous meteorite. And we're going to witness these brothers coming together in their own uniqueness, but it's together and they ain't seen nothing yet. Like
And we ain't playing. And we ain't playing.
No kids.
Alhamdulillah.
And it was born right here
Yes,
Allahu
ma'am.
Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
I saw it happen right here. Allah said, if you don't look with your heart and your soul, you miss it. I saw it.
Yes.
And you know something also,
Yes.
and also, dear believers and brothers, is that, that I'm working the same route.
Yes.
Same route. Because when you were talking, I was sitting there, and I felt the sisters, but I got notes, I was taking notes, and like what they say, when they say that, when they say in the Quran, say this is what I've been given before,
That's right. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
People say that's it, but what I'm saying is this is what I'm saying is that, all of the work that you're doing now, right here, and believe me, I mean, I said sometimes my sister asked me, my sister said, when do you rest? I said, I rest, but when I get another time. I said, I rest, it's my time,
Yes.
But at the same time, Umar, is that, and people say, you should be getting paid for what you do. I do get paid, but there's one thing that they don't realize is that when I came out of that institution, and I go back because they have a graduation. Every 3 months they have what you call a graduation in the interfaith program. So I go back, and I talk to them. But the benefit that we're getting now is that we are able to promote our religion. We're able to promote the Quran, but the best promotion of the Quran is to get what you're getting from that and build something from it and show that. That's what you promote. You show it, you promote what
And not to cut you off, Brother Aziz, but do you know how I promote the Quran? I walk it.
That's what I'm saying.
I walk it. I know that's what you're saying. I'm in agreement with you. Yeah, I walk it.
And that's the door. See, that's going to open, and that's what, because it's our time. It's our time. It's the time, it's the time when the world gets into a situation like it is now. Believe me, I tell people all the time, they say, well, the antibiotics, Allah, there's a natural immunity antibiotic that Allah has prescribed in the minds and the mentality of the people. Once the mentality will change, the circumstances will change, the minds will change, then the correction can come.
You know what the number one question, and then I'm going to ask if you all have any questions. The number one question I'm asking is about this bump on my head right here. And they say, what happened? You got hit in the head with something? I say, I sure did. The floor. I bumped my head on the floor continuously for years, for a half a century. I've been bumping my head on the floor. I supposed to have a knot. Wa alaikum assalam to Allah.
While the brother was talking, my nephew came in, and I would just love for him to say, Assalamu alaikum.
Oh, yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, that guy.
Give him the greeting, because he has gone through the same thing.
Alhamdulillah.
Save him.
Assalamu alaikum, Aki. Hey. Ex-cons matters. Ex-cons matters.
And I'm trying to save him.
Hey, something like
Alhamdulillah.
like my Islam.
Join the group. He needs to join the group.
Hit me up, thedoctorproject.com.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. What's your name, brother?
Get his information and get it to us so they can time together. Okay?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, ma'am.
TheDRProject.com. Yes. And I promise I'll be back in touch with you.
Yeah. There's my beautiful daughter.
Something like
Assalamu alaikum. Well, shoot, y'all showing off. I come here, baby. Come here. No, come here.
Your wife.
This is my wife. This is my queen.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Hey, Imani. Beautiful program this morning.
We got a thing going here.
Family thing.
Beautiful.
Alhamdulillah.
Anybody else?
Let him out.
All right.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes. Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Anybody have any questions for me? You ain't got to sugarcoat it, and I ain't going to sugarcoat no answers.
I sound like a brother.
Excuse me,
well,
excuse me,
let's
Tawanda. Let me recognize my vice president,
Mm-hmm.
please, Sister Baina and Sister Nadia. It is now 10:03. Do we have time that we can go overtime, Sister Baina? I have to ask your permission. Sister Baina, unmute. Unmute, Sister Baina. Sister Baina, unmute.
Okay, I'm unmuted now. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Everything we do today is so relevant. Yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am. We can go over time.
Simple. I had to give respect to you, my sister.
Thank you.
We were raised to respect protocol. Sometimes I get out of bounds, but I know how to bounce back.
You know what Imam Wardeen Muhammad said? He said that if you can't respect authority, you can't be in authority. So I'm going to always respect my sisters, Sister Nadia and Sister Baina, as authority. Because they are found as
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We can continue because everything everyone's saying is very relevant to what's happening today.
Okay. So,
I sound like
wa alaikum assalam, Sister Twana.
I just want to say to Sister Isla, are we gonna still read the Holy Quran?
Did you read it?
I didn't read it yet.
Oh my goodness. Okay. We're gonna stop. We're gonna stop 1 minute. I'm sorry.
I'm going to
We
mute.
went off protocol.
Yes,
We
we
didn't
did.
even do
After
the
Sister Nadia did the Fatiha, Sister Tawanda was supposed to do, because our theme is living the dream.